Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing okay, and I wish you all the best for your health and your safety during this time period in life. And last episode I got some message that saying, hey, did I break my lower tooth? I had a accident like 10-15 years ago. I never fixed it. One of the lower tooth is tilted backward, but when it's shade and the light hit, it looks like I had one broken tooth. So I'm okay. I didn't break my tooth or anything like that. So I would like to share about this Marantz Universal Displayer. I bought this one in, I believe, 2015. It's about $1,000 roughly. MSRP was $1,200. So the reason I'm doing is I just want to share with my audience and people that viewing my channel about the equipment that I'm mainly using. Although I'm not really big into a digital playback, but since I lost a lot of my vinyl collection, this becoming one of my prominent main player. Especially, I really like that USB digital analog converter built in here. So I can connect the hard drive or flash drive right here in the USB input, and I can play all my music. And another reason I choose this one is this is one of the very first player that support 24-bit 192K native playback without downsampling anything. So that's the reason I choose back then, like 5-6 years ago. So it's really good sounding player if you're not picky, because I look into, I think it's SA8000 something at the same time, and doing my research, I found out this one has the superior drive unit. One thing I really like about this one is there is like a pure button. If I hit the pure button, right now it's off. I can hit it again. This is AV pure direct. And next one is pure direct 1 and pure direct 2. Let's see, there's a home menu. If I hit it, there is a media player, as you can see on the screen. The media player, there is like a USB input. So that's the reason I like this one, because back then there wasn't a lot of 24-bit 192K native playback features. Then here's the my FLAC files. Let's play some music. These I can play on YouTube safely without getting the problem. So if I want to go to next track, I can simply hit next or hit home menu and go back to the list. Then select whatever track that I want. So that's the a USB playback with this unit. Let me show you SACD loading time. This one is a Dire Straits Brothers in Arms Super 20th Anniversary Edition SACD. Let's see the loading time. You see? It's pretty quick. It's not bad at all. Sorry, I cannot play Dire Straits music on YouTube. So that's the loading and my favorite modes of this unit. Really good USB playback system. I like the USB playback system more than the Super Audio feature on this disc player, particularly because it's super quiet. Better than the many USB digital analog converter that I try. These players are more than good enough for another maybe 10 years, because we are not going to advance more than this, and our hearing not going to improve. This is the back of the Marantz UD7007, and top left is a balance output. It has two HDMI outputs, video out and audio out, and network cable input, RCA output, right below the RCA output is coaxial digital output, and center is the remote trigger and remote control if you are using with the other Marantz components. And there is like a service port, 3 cable input, so I don't know what it is. Probably that's for media usage. So I'm going to open it up and show it to you. Let's open the unit. There you go. The top cover of the unit where I treated with the Dynamet, because the metal is not really thin metal, but I don't like the untreated metal sheet. So I always treat with the Dynamet on these kind of metal sheets. At the center, the drive unit is mounted on the metal rail. The right side is the dedicated section for the power supply alone. There is no plastic involved here. That's why I prefer these kind of player. And then a sound as well, because back then I was comparing to Oppo 105 or 108 or something, which is a comparable model to this one. This one sounded better to me. Oppo was a bit dry, so I choose this one. That's the power supply of the unit. Okay, power supply is not the best. And then I treated this area. This is the metal area. I treated with the Dynamet as well. That's the Marantz drive unit. It has the elevated rail mounted here. This drive unit, it's a more advanced drive unit than the CD player that they were selling back then. So this section is for the remote controls for using with other equipments. I don't think I can see the digital analog converter chip. It's underneath it, right underneath. And this ribbon is a connection between drive unit and digital analog converter, this ribbon. And this is a pure analog stage. So this ribbon is a input signal or output signal from a digital analog converter to this output stage, analog stage, to output through RCA outputs or balance outputs. Let's do a bit more close-up shots there. This is the analog output stage that comes up from the digital analog converter. DAC unit is down here. So here's a bit more close-up shot of the analog output stage. That's the Marantz HDAM socket. As you can see there's like a DNM caps and Elna caps. A little bit of a sneak peek to digital analog converter inside of my Marantz displayer. It's hidden underneath the analog board. Can't really see it from outside. Digital analog converter can only advance so much because there is like a lot of limitation, especially in circuit design. It's all about how they tweak the circuit. It's not like digital analog converters are creating night and day different in terms of sound quality. So personally, I like the EKM digital analog converter. Marantz choose to use Texas Instruments. But probably they have their reasons. This is a really good player. Digital playback is not my main playback, so this is good to have it and play any sort of disc format. That's why I keep this one, and sound quality is great. Better than the those boutique brands, $4,000-$5,000 disc players. Those are basically a rip-off because they use all Japanese, Chinese components inside, and they put a Western label on top of the casing, and that's it. They rip you off money for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Of course, they have their own circuit design and this and that, but most of the inside, nobody makes better optical drive than the Japanese manufacturers, in my opinion. It's up to the people if they're gonna pay for those boutique brands, overly priced and high products. But for me, I'm okay with this kind of digital analog player. I mean, the USB converter is better than the many USB converter that I tried in up to $2,000-$3,000 back then, or comparable. So if you are gonna spend $2,000-$3,000 for a USB digital analog converter, it's your money, it's up to you, but not for me, because you are only hearing based on your limited ability to differentiate the sound. Maybe you will have more resolution, maybe you have a different sound or tone signature, and maybe more suited to your taste. Maybe you will like the way that represent and reproduce the sound. So those are the only things that make difference. So if you're in the market for a good universal player, these are the one that you can look for. I think they still have some new old stock for a very good price nowadays, and they sound very good. Hey my friend, this is gonna be my main digital playback unit for now, including FLAC files and USB digital analog converter and SCCD and regular CDs, until I get the maybe better one in the future. This one is still very good performing and sounding unit, so I'm not planning to change it anytime soon, and I'm not really into the digital playback anyway. So thank you for watching, and happy listening.